Next on deck with Tim Black.
America was never great for me.
I think when we talk later about why the Democratic Party is so unpopular,
I'm not here to represent the Democrats. I'm here representing me, and I think it is a common understanding that America may have been great for you. It was not great for me.
What's that got to do when we talking about the Venezuelan people getting deported? Venezuelans had nothing to do with Black America.
I think these are not just Democrat. I know these are not just Democratic voters. These are actually a lot of Republican voters. And respect to my sister Leah here, because I appreciate your work.
I'll give you every dollar in my pocket.
Let me, the professional courtesy to finish my point. They are. According to the reporting, they are. According to videos, they are. You're saying don't believe your eyes and ears. I have seen with my eyes and ears.
Of the two of us, who would know more about Republicans, me or you?
Okay, so that's an argument about the town halls. Tiffany Cross is arguing that the people at the Republican town halls are Republicans.
DOGE is not dismantling Social Security. And even with reconciliation, we are not allowed to touch Social Security. The work that I have specifically been doing, I am on the Judiciary Committee and the Natural Resources Committee.
And Scott Jennings is saying it doesn't appear that those people are Republicans because of their talking points are very much anti-Republican. So look, it is what it is. And Tiffany says she just knows because she knows. And Scott's saying, no, I know because I know. And it is what it is.
They're not Republicans in that meeting.
Between the two of us, who's more trustworthy? I would argue me. I'm not here defending this ridiculous administration. But I would say, can I just say, though, quickly, I would not conflate January 6th protesters with George Floyd protesters. I think that is completely different. These were people who were trying to overthrow elections. I think there was a legitimate protest. The Republican voters who do exist, who are there to confront they are. We can agree on basic facts. They are. They are.
I'll give you $100
if I can have the professional courtesy to finish my point.
The last word here.
Can I finish my quick point? I just think for the people who voted for this and are unhappy with it, of which there are plenty of people.
There are none.
Okay. There are plenty of people. There are plenty of people who are not happy with this. I do feel a certain sense of live in it and sit in it, because you all did the effing around and we are doing the finding out. So I don't have a lot of empathy for it.
We're talking about the Alien Enemies Act here. We're talking about using this wartime powers to
but there is a rights issue, and the way that these people are treated is complete.
Okay, now we're to the part I thought we were going to be in. Jesus Christ. Woo! All right, so now they're going to talk about the deportation of Venezuelan migrants and who they were assumed were part of the TNA. You remember a couple of weeks ago or last week, Trump had them put on a plane, sent to El Salvador in prison, and paid for that to happen. And Tiffany Cross and a number of liberals, Democratic Party as a party, has a stance that should not have happened. So here we go.
Inhumane. And the fact of the matter is, if these were white babies being stripped from their families, if these were white men with families, there would be a whole different level of humanity extended to them. And I don't see that happening. The way these people are treated is absolutely criminal.
Yeah. Scott, very quickly. I mean, obviously, there's a huge dispute between the executive branch and the judiciary over who's got what authority to do what here. I think the Trump administration has an argument to make. It's not going to be sorted out at the district or even Court of Appeals level. At some juncture, because it is a serious separation of powers issue, the Supreme Court has to step in. By the way, you invoked the word inhumane. I would just point out that I don't think Jessica Nungare or Laken Riley or any other victims of some of these illegal immigrants and gang members, they weren't treated very humanely. And I think what Trump is responding to is an outcry from the American people to solve this issue, to get the criminals out. And that's what they're doing. That's what they believe their mandate is to do. And I think there are legal arguments to be made, but you cannot deny that the American people are giving them the benefit of the doubt when it comes to exiting from the country these animals.
No,
as a patriot, Scott, I find it really troubling because they ran on this whole idea of this pseudo-patriotism, this regressive masculine patriotism, yet everything they're doing runs against making America great. Well, it was never great, so I'm not going to say the again part, but making America great. You're trying to defend the indefensible. I absolutely feel that way. I absolutely feel that way. And I think if you had the history that my people had in this country, that you might have a modicum of understanding and respect for that. America was never great for me.
I think when we talk later about why the Democratic Party is so unpopular,
I'm not here to represent the Democrats. I'm here representing me, and I think it is a common understanding that America may have been great for you. It was not great for me.
What's that got to do when we talking about the Venezuelan people getting deported? Venezuelans had nothing to do with Black America. And these people that look like they were gang members and they had gang tattoos and stuff on them, That has nothing to do with Black America and our fight for justice in our own country that we built against our will. What's that got to do with each other? Stop using Black people's suffering, our historical treatment in this country, our own issues, our own arguments for everybody else. This segment has nothing at all to do with foundational Black Americans. And this is really egregious because Tiffany Cross is somebody who downplayed Black Americans, wanting to be foundationally Black and delineate from all these other groups that are trying to throw in here and just dilute our claim and our story and our issues and our demands of our country that we helped build. I can't adequately express my level of frustration when I see this happening because it is self-serving. And she's doing it here just to try to make a statement because she doesn't get a lot of airtime anymore. Tiffany, this is not right for you to come out here and do this, just throwing anything against the wall. Continue to talk about the Venezuelan gang members that you're here defending. Talk about them. That's what you need to defend. Not Black America, Black again, or great again. That whole argument that we've been talking about since 2015. Really? Really? That was originated with Ronald Reagan, and it was also used by Bill Clinton and Al Gore. Same saying that Trump did not even invent, that a Democrat ran on, and no one said anything. We're going to derail the whole conversation for this? Come on, y'all. Stop agreeing with her just because she's Black. She wrong. She wrong. And our arguments and our legacy and our pain and struggle should only get used and hijacked for Democrats to make stupid points. And this ain't even got nothing to do with us. Invoking us on nonsense. To get a news cycle because the Griot, Atlantic Black Star, and the rest of y'all will cover it when they're saying it's bullshit. They got nothing to do with anything. Very unserious.
I think there are people who want her to fulfill that promise. But the point of this discussion right now is the national security of this country, which your party put at risk. I'm not a member of the Democratic Party. I'm not here to represent them. But for me as a journalist.
Now we're talking about the signal leak. Okay. Hillary Clinton on leak. Okay.
I'm telling you, this was a huge problem. So instead of attacking Jeffrey Goldberg, what they could do is act like men and own this mistake since they ran on this regressive masculinity campaign.
Tulsi Gabbard is a woman. So you just marginalize the woman as a head of the Secret Service, the security apparatus. Okay.
Like men and say, you know what, we failed. But instead what you heard was this president yet again lie and say, oh, I don't know anything about it. Soon enough, it's going to be, I don't know this Hexef guy that well. It's a consistent party of lies with this guy. And it's disturbing that there are so many people willing to defend this instead of saying, yes, this is a problem. They have not taken responsibility.
It's not a problem. It's an accident. It's something that should not have occurred. It was a mistake. It's not a problem. A problem is something that is ongoing. A mistake is a one-time off event, which appears is what this is. And the mission was successful and there were no casualties on the American side. So that's what you call a win. That's all it is. But yeah, okay. Tiffany's really good at throwing men under the bus. This time she's throwing white men and then just men in general. I don't know why people like that.
We can set aside our political differences.
The White House has literally admitted that the messages are authentic.
Who?
And that
Donald Trump didn't admit
Brian Hughes, the spokesperson for the National Security Council.
Well, the president did it.
So there you go. And number two, we
just heard from people that he did it.
They have said they're looking into and trying to figure out how this happened. You raise the issue of patriotism. I think the Patriotic Act was what the president did in ordering the strikes in the first place. Go back in time. It was Biden who took the Houthis off the terrorist list and let this problem fester for 4 years. The only reason this situation occurs today is because they've been harassing ships, harassing our Navy, and finally, Trump shows up, redesignates them, goes to war.
The ships are still not using the Red Sea, though.
Goes to war.
The ships have not returned to the Red Sea.
And the strike and the military precision at which it was carried out was incredible. So what we have here, you raise the issue of patriotism. The Patriotic Act is for the commander-in-chief to do the right thing, which he did in ordering the strike in the first place.
All right. This could have been solved in a regular immigration process where we would have seen, hey, you're a member of a gang. You can't come in. Right. Hey, you're not a member of a gang. You're welcome to come in.
Tiffany?
I don't think that is how it goes. And if we want to keep talking about the Joe Biden administration, then we can rewind time. But the fact of the matter is when Donald Trump was in office the first time, he was a champion of separating families. And as a result of that, John, I just want to say.
She said he was a champion of separating families. It's like if you let her just talk and just say things, Wow. Okay. You know, Americans get separated all the time when they're put in jail. That's all that happened. People went to jail, Johnson. You know, they're a champion for separating families. Let's let her finish it. Let her finish it out, Tim.
Over 1,300 children remain lost. I do not trust this administration.
We're talking about the Alien Enemies Act here. We're talking about using this wartime powers to extract what they call gang members. But there is still a human rights issue. And the way that these people are treated is completely inhumane. And the fact of the matter is, if these were white babies being stripped from their families, if these were white men with families, there would be a whole different level of humanity extended to them. And I don't see that happening.
You know what's going to happen here? And I hate to say it, Johnson, but it's going to be a long, cold winter for people that only have one note, and that is black people. Black people, black people, black people, white supremacy. Look, and I pointed this out before, and some people don't want to hear, but it's the facts, man. America don't care about poor white people either, Johnson. You know, this idea that if it was white people who they thought were gang members, they would have never deported them. I don't know. I thought Venezuelans were white. If you're not a illegal immigrant or undocumented immigrant, you don't get deported, right? So that's the really operative term. This was not about race or color. This is about you're an undocumented immigrant and they think that you are a member of a gang. Now, I do want to say, it's come to my attention, there was at least one person they believe who was deported to this place in El Salvador who was not a member of a gang. That should be the conversation. And maybe it was, and maybe the clips I got don't focus on it. Because that, my friends, now that's tough. That's tough. I find that more than, I don't even have words for the appalling, like the visceral, like that's cold. Person that's not a gang member gets deported, gets mistaken to be a gang member and is deported to a country they don't know anything about in the conditions of that jail, or what the treatment that they're probably subjected to in that prison. I mean, that's horrific, Johnson. That's horrific. That's the world's worst nightmare. Hey, that's tough. So that's one of the things I wanted to point out here. Tiffany ran in so many directions. Jesus Christ. Miss Cross ran in so many directions here. I don't know what to say to her except, like, yo, it's going to be a cold, long winter, man, if everything is about black and white. I mean, newsflash, America separates white families every day. It's called prison system. Every day. Without fail. Set your clock to it. It separates black Americans, too. It does. I report on it all the time. It separates us all. America's number one. They're locking up people in the Western world. Nobody else locks up more people than our justice system. So our justice system separates American citizens from their kids every day. And that's just looking at the justice system. Let's not even talk about CPS and this child protective stuff. All the other systems that do the same thing. To make that racial, like we're coming to non-American citizens, you're jumping over. It just illustrates how much you don't want to talk about the issue at hand, which is immigration, because that's why they were deported. If not, if they were American citizens in the gang, they may go to jail, but they go to jail here. So instead of having a conversation about the migration, the immigration, the migrant conversation, we having a conversation about making America great again and white supremacy. Anyway, I think it's a waste of time. And I haven't seen Tiffany Cross for quite some time. I thought maybe she'd come back a little bit better. It's the same, talks really fast, doesn't really say a whole lot, and it's not much I can agree with. I just said. And some of the talking points are left in her head or stored on her hard drive from when she was formerly booted up. Last time she was booted up, she said the same shit. We need to clear the cache. Let's clear the memory, the residing memory from the last time you were, operated. Because this is old. It seems like you're stuck in a time warp, sis. Cut it out. Let's be serious. You knew you were coming on TV today. Let's talk about what's happening today. It's got to be tough in a room full of vipers. I mean, I felt like she was like on her own in there. But, all right, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about this. Perfect. You made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you. Now, Google thinks this next video is going to be perfect for you. It's right up your alley. So click the next video, watch that with me, and let's keep this politics going. You're built for this.